Hello and welcome to Team Citrine's Adventure Game Showcase. My name is Holden Doerksen and I will be showing off my level first. We're going to grab this rope out of the chest here before making our way to adventure, where we can see an island in the distance and a dock with a boat. So we're going to get in the boat here and sail over in this nice little transition sequence. I feel pretty good about this. Once we get to the island, we can see a tower in the distance, so we're going to be heading there. But the main central theme of this level is exploration, where the main path forward is fairly easy and simple, not a lot of challenge. But if you choose to go off the beaten path, you can find some more difficult areas with treasure to be acquired. Case in point, we're going to take this key and open up our first chest, the coin inside. Grab that and keep on the lookout for any more. We're going to head into the jungle now. We see a stack of crates, so let's jump on top of it, see what's at the top of this cliff. Oh look, we already missed a chest, but that's okay, we'll find more. Getting deeper into the jungle now, I use torches to make sure the player can see where they're going and their attention is drawn. But before that, we're going to grab another key and take it to a side area in this cave where chest number 2 can be found. Open up the chest, get another coin. Areas like this I made sure to decorate with barrels and torches and greenery, general details that keep the player interested and always give them something to look at. As we climb up here, we can see some more platforms up high on cliffs. The level's getting a bit more challenging with the jumps, but first we're going to go over here and get another optional treasure. If we were to fall in the water here, we would die and respawn at the start of this zone, so we have to make sure not to do that. Jumping back up here, we can see a cave at the top, so that's our current objective. We make these larger jumps over the water, make sure not to fall. And as we enter the cave, we see some more crates and barrels before we trigger a booby trap. Now we're trapped in the cave and there's no way to go but forward. We're going to go to the right here because I see a key over here. And we're going to jump over here where there is a massive cave full of treasure and artifacts. We can't take it all with us, so let's just grab this coin here and call it a day. Now we're going to jump back down and follow these crates and other breadcrumbs towards this hole, which will lead us to a chest that we can't open yet, and the focal point of my level, the center of the temple. And the main focus here is that there are 4 doors, each of which are opened by a corresponding colored gem. And we find the first one down here on this waterfall. The waterfall has multiple sound effects and particles that I think look quite nice. And as we head back to the temple, I made sure that the backtracking is in a different route than the way you come down before. So the player is always doing something new. Heading into this next area, it's a watery cave with some vines hanging down. And here I made sure to include some soft blue lighting from the bottom of platforms, so there's some water reflection going on. We're going to jump back up on these crates again, head back to the temple. And we're going to put the key into this door and get to the final challenge, which is not as hard as I was expecting. Alright, we're finally free. Let's head out of the temple. Here we see another waterfall, the tower we were heading to, and a dock to the right. Let's go to the tower first. Oh, there we go. Alright, inside we see a key to the boat. That was convenient. Let's take it back out and head to the docks. Gonna get in the boat now and sail over in one more sequence where we can have a glimpse of the next level. And as we transition away from the more tropical scenery, I'm going to hand things off to our next designer, Cruz.
Hi, my name is Cruz, and my target theme was secret abandoned temples. I used bushes to discourage players from going off the path and leading lines from the destroyed buildings to point to the only scalable building. When the player reaches the top, off in the distance they see a monument on another temple. The player then falls down and they see a door and a plaque with matching gems. The gems tell the player which lever goes to which door. I have leading lines on the floor from these boards, and then I have some wall pieces forming an arrow, and even the broken door on the bottom floor leans toward this hill that the player is climbing, so that they know. There's a plaque up on top that lets the player know that there's going to be a lever in here, but they fall down. Instead, they're going to climb up, and they are facing the new plaque with a gem on it, which matches the next door. I have living quarters down here on the bottom, but the player scales up to the top where the lever is. I have the torches on beneath the plaque, just pointing upwards and towards the center, letting the player know where. When the player goes into the next area, they see a new door and 2 new plaques. The white plaque actually has the gem pointing upwards towards where the lever is going to be, and when you come over to this one, it points sideways. The lever will actually point towards the next lever, and a rock will act as a ramp, guiding the player. Yes. As the character goes up into the room, there's just decorations for this portion. And then it goes into the transition to the next level, which I had kept jumping underneath the accident. I used the stalagmites to go around the breakable floors so that the players would know where they're going. And I used the lamp at the end to let the players know where the exit was. Next up, we have William Blood.
Hello, this is William Blood, and welcome to my level. Starting with the stalagmites and stalactites, I spent so long trying to get these things perfect. Originally I started with just little cones, but then I had to delete each and every single one of those, and that took forever, but in the end I think it turned out quite nice. Ended up nice, sticking out, looked natural. I even added this nice little cozy trap room over here to send you back if you take a wrong turn and don't follow the lights like you should. But if you pay attention, the little lanterns that I have everywhere guide you nice and easily to where you need to go. Again, I spent a lot of hours trying to make everything nice and natural looking. And, well, leads right to this nice little spiral staircase here. Unfortunately, it's rather old and broken down. But if you're careful and you pay attention to where you need to go, the jumps aren't too difficult. And they lead you to a nice little area after that. Broken down guards barracks. Unfortunately, it's been many, many years since these have been used, but they make for a nice little environmental storytelling. Climb over the wall, through the ruined courtyard over here, climb right on up to the treasure room, and, well, there's no treasure, but what that arrow points to? Stairs! Leading you right up to where you need to go, and you can see down into the main courtyard. Careful, don't slip on the little building there. Climb up the rocks, around the poles. A wonderful little hop, skip, and a jump to your next destination. Oh, well, if you make it. Yeah, I spent a lot of time working on this place trying to get it right. You can even do a nice little shortcut jump there. Once you exit over there, just a nice little walk past the ruined building, over some rocks, to a nice little pogo section. Well, jump across the rock section. Actually, these were stalagmites originally. Well, stalactites. But I decided to use them as little platforming challenges, and they worked quite well for that. Well, that's it for my level. Now let me hand it over to the next level creator, James Medrano. Up to you, James.
Thanks for the introduction, William. Hello everyone, my name is James Medrano, and welcome to my level. Discovery was my target theme, as I envisioned the player character exploring a temple embedded in the mountains, and in this case, an adjacent jungle, which would have been a garden in this temple's heyday. Unfortunately, it's apparent that the residents have long abandoned it, as sections of the temple are destroyed and crumbling, and the walls and pillars are stained from years of neglect. I am particularly proud of my temple's design, and the upcoming sequence, which showcases the puzzle required for the player to progress and acts as a gate and valve. Player feedback suggested improving player communication by adding something to inform the player of their progress. To address this concern, I added a sound effect to the buttons on each statue, as well as lights and particle emitters on the temple's focal wall that reflect the player's progression. To make the 30 by 30 limit feel more extensive, I wanted to create a space that played with verticality, and had enough novelty in each area to feel cohesive, but entirely separate. The upper temple area focuses on light. Natural light pours in through the archways, candles and torches cast a golden glow around the structure's interior, and activating the statues creates more light in the form of fire, further promoting the importance of prakash, or light. As the player progresses down the revealed stairway, a torch lights up to guide the player and shuts the path behind them. I drew inspiration for my temple design from the Al-Khazna Treasury in Jordan and the Sun Temple in Gujarat. Skyrim's puzzle structure inspired my own, simple in design, but leaves the player feeling as if they pieced it together by themselves. I wanted to wean the light for the lower section of the temple until it finally acted as a highlight, culminating in this grand reveal of an angel statue with light emanating behind it. I also took this opportunity to incorporate a bit of fun, as the player opens the chest to find not a relic, but a suspiciously heavy item that opens a path forward. I took some storytelling liberties in this area. The bookshelf that once concealed the exit has been pushed aside in a hurry. Items have fallen, and a torch and fallen boards act as leading lines. Additionally, torches act as breadcrumbs as they guide the player through their ascent. For this final transition area, I wanted to focus on a gradual increase in difficulty, as the player shifts from navigating simple pathways to climbing rocks and ledges, and then conquering a series of jumps, which also increase in difficulty and end with a tense, nail-biting finish. I drew gameplay inspiration for this last transition area from the Tomb Raider franchise. For the design, I wanted it to be a mixture of natural rocks mixed with artificial pathways. A challenge I faced throughout this area was a mixture of lighting and element placement. I wanted the escape to feel tense. I minimized lighting and enclosed the space while focused on making the final jumps challenging without being frustrating. I placed a reset volume at the last jump as feedback deemed it too challenging. As the player pulls themselves up from the ledge and emerges out of the cavern, they earn a breath of fresh air as they overlook a jungle village amongst the trees and mountains. However, their journey isn't over. Their next challenge awaits, and it is designed by the one and only Chad Breaux.
Thank you, James. Here we find ourselves in the Basalt Caves. I am Chad Breaux, and this is my level. I gathered inspiration from Fingal's Cave in Scotland for my Basalt Cave and River. I wanted to stay away from any form of signs of civilization, so I used the idea of bioluminescence to illuminate my caves, with the use of glowworms and mushrooms. These mushrooms also became useful breadcrumb tools, guiding the player throughout my level. As we go through my level, there are scattered gemstones everywhere, from emeralds to rubies to diamonds and sapphires. Here in the glowworm cave, I used a blue point light, and as we get out of the cave, we find ourselves at these pillars that have moss edges to easily show which ledges can be grabbed onto and climbed up on by the players. As you fall down into the canyon, you come through our first valve, and you're climbing up these side caves to get to the upper levels. Here we also come across our first gate, which is in the form of a tree trunk that allows you to get across to the next area. As you jump across the canyon back to the first side, you find another gate. Climbing up that will get you to an upper level where you think you can jump across, but unfortunately you just fall straight to the bottom. Here you can climb your way back up through one side cave, and following our mushroom breadcrumbs, we find ourselves at a midway point where we have to jump across and climb up a little bit higher to get to the top. Here we find our final gate where you knock down the tree trunk and you cross over, and you are able to jump down safely into a little lake. Here we come up to our lodge, which is the final end of our game, a nice safe place for our player to rest. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. Have a great day.